Part 75. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 741. When Guyao and Qi Changjai left, they did not disturb others. However, after a while, several people who were close to them announced their retreat, and Guyao and Qi Changjai were not seen coming out. This made all the forces in Piaoxiu Immortal domain guessed. They have already left, the Immortal Emperor wants to leave, and no one in this realm can keep them. Many forces regretted that they did not deal with these two monks earlier, but fortunately, compared with monks in other star fields, they still have advantages and opportunities. As long as those relatives and friends still stay in Donglan City, they can always find an opportunity to get in touch slowly. Such a young Immortal Emperor, needless to say, will have further opportunities to stand at the pinnacle of the entire immortal demon realm. Tianfirong and their thoughts are also very simple. Guyao and Qi Changjai have left them a lot of resources. It is best to realize these resources in a short period of time. The higher the way, the more guaranteed their safety. Although they knew that Guyao and Qi Changjai had done a lot of protection for them, the strength was still in their own hands, which was the best guarantee. It is rare for Yin Hua to be diligent. Including Qi Xian, his cultivation base is rising rapidly. He can't help Guyao and Qi Changjai, and try to hinder them as little as possible. A year later, another Immortal Emperor Heavenly Tribulation descended in the remote star field of the Immortal Realm, with the aura of destroying the sky and destroying the earth. Compared with the previous Immortal Emperor Tribulation of Guyao, it was only better than the previous Immortal Emperor Tribulation, but this time the power is also greatly enhanced. With the Immortal Emperor Guyao, as well as the Cubs and Mou who absorbed and digested the newly increased power, even if the Immortal Emperor came in the middle stage, he would never break through their protective line easily, and the rest would be left to Qi Changjai himself. Huh? Someone is here again. Guyao's perception was fully released, and he noticed the fluctuations in space. The cultivation base of the person here was not low, at least the Emperor level. He knew that when Zhongying appeared when he crossed the calamity, but he also knew that Qi Changjai would not disturb him. He only needed to focus on crossing the calamity. Now the movement here attracts people again. The next moment, there was a ripple in the space, and a cultivator came out and glanced down, revealing a look of surprise. He stood on the spot, and did not go any further. The voice came, "In front is the ancient Immortal Emperor Gu Alchemist. The person who transcended the calamity is Qi Daiyu. Below is the Huo Peng of Huangji Hall." It seems that this person still knows the proportions, and did not rush forward, otherwise it will be regarded as a provocation. The other party is polite, and Guyao is also polite. "Friend Huo Peng, it is Guyao." In his memory, the Immortal Emperor Huo Peng in Huangji Hall was in the middle stage of Immortal Emperor, so although the other party was polite, Guyao couldn't relax his guard. Even if Huo Peng recognized Guyao, he was still shocked. The news that Xian Huan Palace knew was also spread in Huangji Hall. Many people wanted to find Guyao's trace, but he unexpectedly ran into him. "I noticed that there were people here who crossed the Immortal Emperor Tribulation, but I didn't expect it to be Qi Chang. Knight. Let Guyao personally protect the law. Who else would it be if not his Taoist companion Qi Changjai? To be honest, there are all Immortal Emperors in Huangji Palace who are jealous of Qi Changjai's good luck. They can find such an Emperor-level alchemist and never give up, making them all want to pry Qi Changjai's corner. Of course, they just think about it and know them. He has worked hard all the way from the lower realm, and he knows that this corner is not easy to pry. If Qi Changjai stays at the Immortal Monarch stage, maybe they still have a chance, but is this realistic? It's not realistic at all. The Taoist companions are all Emperor-level elixir masters, so how can Qi Changjai be unable to break through? Besides, I am talented. But they didn't expect to break through so quickly, so they didn't even have a chance to think about it. These thoughts flashed in the mind of Immortal Emperor Huopeng, and he knew that this time was not a good opportunity to visit Guyao, so I will make a long story short. The ancient alchemy master technique is very good, and it must not be far from refining the emperor level middle level elixir. Can Huopeng reserve a pot of elixir from the ancient alchemist first? For Guyao at this moment, it would be best to use the elixir to get rid of it, so he nodded and said, yes. Huopeng was overjoyed, and from this we can tell that Guyao's alchemy skills are really not far from the emperor level middle level. You must know that before he broke through to the immortal emperor, he first became an emperor level elixir master. Now to become an immortal emperor, alchemy will naturally go a step further. In order to avoid Guyao's regret, Huopeng hurriedly threw out a storage ring. I would like to thank Huopeng for this. When the training is finished, Gu alchemist will have the opportunity to come to Huangji Hall, or send a message to Huopeng. I'll take a trip to get the pills. Woman, Huopeng, don't bother, farewell. Immortal Emperor Huopeng turned and left decisively. Although he was in the middle stage of Immortal Emperor, his value was not worth it. There is an emperor level elixir master Guyao who has come a lot, and the more they get to their level, the more they know the value of an emperor level elixir master. It is very worthwhile to take this opportunity to befriend an emperor level elixir master. The other party was so straightforward, Guyao was relieved, and because of this, he remembered Huopeng, the immortal emperor. After this episode, although other cultivators appeared, the highest cultivation base was the immortal monarch. As soon as Guyao's aura was released, how could they dare to approach half a point, so as not to be accidentally slaughtered by the immortal emperor in front of him, and only far away? Waiting and watching the immortal emperor tribulation is also very beneficial to them. Under such circumstances, Qi Changjai's immortal emperor tribulation passed without any risk. The heaven and earth rained down, and Guyao's heart was completely calmed down. After some sweet rain, I was also very happy, and Qi Changjai also became an immortal emperor, which is a good thing to congratulate. The calamity was over, and another immortal emperor was born. The monks who were watching from a distance bowed respectfully and withdrew. Even the monks who came with the mentality of picking up bargains did not dare to make any suggestions. Immortal emperor, what a joke. Not to mention the immortal emperor, even the pet beasts around others can take their lives. After Guyao and Qi Changjai left, Immortal Emperor Huopeng appeared again to confirm whether Qi Changjai had successfully crossed the calamity. It would not be an accident when he thought about it, and the result also proved his guess, so Qi Changjai crossed. The news of Ji becoming the new Immortal Emperor, followed by Guyao, also resounded in the immortal demon realm, once again shocking countless monks. Seeing them advance one after another, it seems that this immortal emperor does not want money, and can appear one after another, but God knows how difficult it is for immortal emperors to appear. The situation in the demon realm also made the emperor-level masters unable to relax. Opportunities and crises came along with them. The invasion of the void beast was always a sharp sword hanging over their heads. A year later, Qi Changjai's cultivation was completely consolidated, and the two set off again to discuss the next itinerary. I think it's better to go back to Void City instead of aimlessly looking for the mastermind behind the scenes. The situation there is critical, and you can also use the connections there to investigate slowly. Guyao suggested that he was thinking about this issue before Qi Changjai crossed the calamity. Okay, no problem. Besides, it's also convenient to inquire about Zhou Hu's whereabouts. Qi Changjai remembered Yin Hua's affairs. He was Guyao's uncle and also his uncle, so Guyao couldn't be worried. Guyao smiled. Okay, uncle said it freely and easily, but how could he really not worry? It's just that he couldn't do anything, and he didn't want to add to him. Add burden. The two continued their cultivation while they were on their way. The Immortal Emperor was not the end, but another starting point, and the Immortal Emperor was not infallible. What they saw and heard in the divine punishment space showed that even standing here the pinnacle of the fairy world may not be able to control its own destiny. It's just that today's practice is not only about accumulating immortal energy, it is not achieved by meditation, and Guyao's epiphany before gave him a hint, then try to integrate into the starry sky and find the original feeling. Perhaps it was the epiphany that laid the foundation for him. With the integration, his soul power continued to grow, and some things that used to be like flowers in the fog were constantly becoming clear in his mind. He is making progress, and the same is true for Qi Changjai. In his sword Qi, the Qi of thunder, space, and killing has been integrated. Saying that this master is so now, he is actually quite happy. The stronger the master is, the stronger he will continue to grow. Void City. When Mei Sun entered the retreat, it was normal for monks to retreat, and Xian Wuotang would not say much, not to mention that before the retreat, Mei Sun refined a large number of medicinal pills for Xian Wuotang. Originally, these medicinal pills were enough to supply, but the situation in the Void Beast battlefield and Void City became critical, the demand for medicinal pills increased greatly, and it suddenly became tense, but at this moment, it was impossible to forcibly interrupt Mei Sun's retreat. Other elixir masters also stepped up alchemy, but their level was a little far from Mei Sun, and they could not meet the needs. The elders of Xian Wuotang were in a hurry. Moreover, the transportation of the major commercial houses is also shrinking, because many previous routes were interrupted due to the invasion of the Void Beast. Immortal Emperor Yuhang, how long will it take for Pill Master Mei to retreat this time? Is it possible to contact his two disciples, Immortal Emperor Gu and Pill Master Su? Elder Qin came to ask Immortal Emperor Yuhang in person. Of course, Immortal Emperor Yuhang knew that Mei Sun had obtained the Emperor Pill and Tiansil fluid sent by Gu Yao, and the preparation time for the breakthrough could be long or short. The difficulty of breaking through, it is even more difficult to advance to the Immortal Emperor. Originally wanted to hide it, but at this juncture, he couldn't hide it, so Yuhang told Elder Qin the truth, and Elder Qin had nothing to say. I'll try to see if I can contact Xiaoao and his senior brother. By the way, from his senior brother's place, if you ask Mo Xiu to send a message to the demon world, maybe you can find it. Elder Qin responded again and again, and then rushed to find the monks in the demon world. He was happy when he received the news that Qi Changjai Duji was promoted to Immortal Emperor, but the situation in front of him made him unable to continue to be happy. Gu Yao's return can be relieved. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 742. Immortal Emperor Yuhang can't guarantee to contact Gu Yao, just try it. At this time, Yi Jiao, Gu Yao, and Qi Changjai's star shuttle are about to reach the land where Void City is located. There is movement in the messenger. He smiled and said, "It was Immortal Emperor Yuhang who came. Did Immortal Emperor Yuhang expect us to come back? There might be something urgent," Qi Changjai guessed. Just looking at the atmosphere of the starry sky outside Void City, it was much more tense than when they left the last time, and the space barrier was damaged in more places along the way, and it was too late to repair it. Passing star shuttle monks have to be careful, so as not to be involved in the space storm, and the weak point of the cultivation base will die directly. Gu Yao nodded. It's also possible, but Master probably hasn't made a breakthrough yet, otherwise news has already come out. As he spoke, he returned the message, telling Immortal Emperor Yuhang that they had reached the boundary of Void City. Immortal Emperor Yuhang didn't expect Gu Yao to reply so quickly. After reading the content, he couldn't help laughing. It's great that Gu Yao and Qi Changjai can come back at this time. It can not only strengthen the defense of Void City, but more importantly, Gu Yao, the effect of the alchemy technique is too great. So Immortal Emperor Yuhang explained the current situation of Void City and what Elder Qin entrusted to Gu Yao. As for how to do it, it depends on Gu Yao himself. Gu Yao frowned. The situation here is really bad, the enchantment has been destroyed, and the void beast can't be prevented. There have been several void beast invasions in the city recently, and a large number of monks have been withdrawn from the battlefield. Many cities have fallen, and currently only the 9 cities in Shangcheng can be defended, because the defensive strength there is relatively strong, and Immortal Emperor Yu Heng is now guarding the Shangjukan. The number of cultivators killed and injured has also exceeded any previous period. Because of the sudden invasion of the void beast, the supply of medicinal pills is now vacant. It happens that the master is in retreat again, and the medicinal masters from other places can't catch up. This is not because Elder Qin has just left. Went to Immortal Emperor Yu Heng and asked about master's situation. Qi Changjai suddenly got up and looked outside, and said, "Forget about entering the city, there are a group of void beasts ahead, and the monks there are about to lose their support. Then what are you waiting for? Let's hurry over." Gu Yao saw the situation in front of him with a sweep of his consciousness, and immediately accelerated the speed of the star shuttle to rush there. Books. Damn it, I came across these void beasts when I went out to patrol. It's just void beasts. There are also high-level profound heads hidden in these void beasts. You should withdraw and report to the city. I will block here first. A monk with a cultivation base in the middle stage of Xianjun said angrily, where did he think that he would be attacked while patrolling? If the guy hidden in the herd was stronger than him, they would not have stepped into the void herd with 1 foot. The encirclement without being discovered in advance. Pei Xianjun, if you want to leave, you have to leave first, otherwise we will be caught up by these guys, and the letter will not be sent out. Besides, there is such a big movement here, maybe a cultivator will soon find out and come to support. It's not that they are not afraid of death, but the situation is serious at the moment. These void beasts have made it clear that they do not want them to escape, so they grit their teeth and fight to the death with them, and they have to pull their backs when they die. A larger void beast came out of the herd, and its eyes were clearly mocking Pei Xianjun's overreaching. It roared and rushed out towards Pei Xianjun, the sharp teeth of its front paws flashing with cold light. There is no doubt that it can tear apart the body of the Xianjun cultivator. The speed is too fast. As soon as Pei Xianjun's attack was launched, the protective immortal armor on his body made a cracking sound. It was not long before Pei Xianjun entered the middle stage, and this void beast has clearly stopped at this stage for a long time. After all, the power is disparate. Despair and anger flashed in Pei Xianjun's heart. Rather than die in the hands of the void beast, it is better to die with them and fight for a chance for other monks to escape. The sharp claws were about to fall on Pei Xianjun's head again. At the critical moment, a blood-colored sword light struck, not only cutting off the sharp claws, but also attacking the void beast with a bang. The Xian-level high-level void beast flew out backwards, and the blood splattered in the starry sky. Saved. It was really saved, because Pei Xianjun saw another sword light coming right after him. The void beast felt the threat and fled without thinking, and ordered other void beasts to stand in front of it, but the next moment, the blood-colored sword light penetrated several low-level void beasts in a row, and the remaining energy was undiminished, still piercing the high-level void beast. All these changes happened in a very short moment, and the monks who thought it would be a mortal ending were all stunned by what happened in front of them. Pei Xianjun's reaction was the fastest. What are you waiting for? There is help. Everyone worked hard to solve the remaining void beasts. The power of that sword shocked Pei Xianjun. Before anyone appeared, he slaughtered the Xian-level high-level void beast. This kind of strength must be at least the Immortal Emperor, so it happened that the Immortal Emperor took action to save them, which made him immediately excited. He swung the fairy sword into the void beast. Gu Yao and Qi Changjai flew away, and in a few breaths, half of the void beasts were eliminated, and the remaining half were eliminated by Pei Xianjun and the others. The situation just turned one-sided, but in a blink of an eye, the monks were asked to destroy them all. The result made the surviving monks extremely excited. Of course, what was even more exciting was to show up to rescue their seniors. Not only Xian Junpei, but the other monks also guessed that it was probably the emperor who came, because in the past, Emperor Xian rarely appeared in front of monks, but now the situation in Void City is tense, and the emperor level the appearance of the Void Beast made the Immortal Emperor also fight on the front line, and the chance to see the Immortal Emperor's style increased, and the Immortal Emperor was no longer so mysterious in their minds. But including Pei Xianjun, they couldn't connect the two with the Immortal Emperor they knew. Could it be that the Void Beast just arrived from outside? Despite his doubts, Pei Xianjun took the other monks to thank Gu Yao and Qi Changjai for their rescue. Thank you two seniors for showing up in time, otherwise we would be in danger. You're welcome, just passing by, you can't wait for death without help. Take this bottle of healing pills and go back to the city quickly. Yes, thank you Senior. Pei Xianjun stretched out his hand to take the medicine pill. Most of the cultivators were injured in the previous struggle, and the injuries were not serious. Their medicine pills were indeed not enough, so they were extremely grateful. Gu Yao waved his hand and disappeared together with Qi Changjai. After picking up the corpse of the Void Beast in the starry sky, Pei Xianjun took out the star shuttle and let the injured monk enter it for healing. He personally controlled the star shuttle to return to the Void Beast to report the situation here. Pei Xianjun, who are the two seniors just now? Pei Xianjun shook his head, I don't know either. It doesn't match the names of the few immortal emperors I know so far. Maybe they just came. Ah, a cultivator who was ordered by Pei Xianjun to distribute healing pills exclaimed, exquisite healing pills. I know who they are. What? The best healing pill? Didn't you see anything wrong? Xing Shuonei suddenly shouted. Pei Xianjun waved the pill bottle into his hand, and when he checked his consciousness, it turned out that a bottle of healing pills was a top-grade pill, and he was immediately excited. Could it be that they are the ancient Immortal Emperor and the ancient alchemist? That's right, his Taoist companion is just now Senior Jian Zioqi, who was promoted to Immortal Emperor. No wonder his strength is so great. Hurry up, send a message back. What about this medicinal pill? To be honest, they were a little reluctant to use the top-grade healing pill. Pei Xianjun was also reluctant, but said, this is what the ancient alchemist asked you to heal. You don't have to live up to the heart of the ancient alchemist, so let's use it. Yes, it would be bad if the ancient alchemist knew about it. Alas, I have never used the top-grade pill, and I really want to offer the top-grade pill of the ancient alchemist, but he struggled and swallowed. In the end, there were still 2 pills left to send back to Pei Xianjun. He was injured, but it was enough to use some ordinary healing pills, so he thought about putting away these 2 top-grade pills and using them at critical moments. Life-saving. So before Gu Yao and Qi Changjai entered Void City, Xian Wuotang got the news that 2 monks suspected to be the 2 immortal emperors Gu Yao and Qi Changjai appeared and rescued a patrol team. When the news was reported to the elder Qin stood up. You read that right? Are they really back? Hurry up, go out with this elder to meet the 2 immortal emperors. Elder Qin took the people from Xian Wuotang and flew out with a hula. On the way, he met Gu Yao and Qi Changjai, who were flying together, and he was so excited that he burst into tears. Sure enough, it's Master Gu and Immortal Emperor Qi. It's great that you can come back. You two are righteous, and on behalf of Void City, Qin thanked them both. Elder Qin greeted them and said. Gu Yao felt that he couldn't bear it, and hurriedly returned the salute. Elder Qin has praised us too much, and in terms of righteousness, none of us can compare to Elder Qin and everyone in Wuotang. With your perseverance, there will be a Void City and immortals. The security of the demon world. Haha, let's not talk about it. Alchemist Gu, Qi Xianqi and Qin Mao will go back to the Immortal Martial Hall together. Elder Qin was very happy when he saw that Gu Yao was as unpretentious as before. Gu Yao glanced at Qi Changjai, nodded and said, okay, it's up to Elder Qin to arrange it anyway. Master is currently in retreat, and he can't meet him. Elder Qin and a group of monks happily surrounded Guyao and Qi Changjai back. The movement of Elder Qin was not small. Many monks in the city saw it, and they all speculated that it was a person who could alarm Elder Qin. It didn't take long for the images of Guyao and Qi Changjai to come out, and they were shocked. Isn't that Guyao and Qi Changjai? It's no wonder that Elder Qin is excited now. Elder Qin is really amazing. He was able to invite these two back to Void City. With them here, Void City is like having Dingai Divine Needle. Is it such an exaggeration? You don't understand. As long as the news of the ancient alchemists' return to Void City is spread, watch it, there will definitely be many emperor-level masters who come to Void City to ask for pills. Will they stand by and stand by? Definitely not. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 743. The arrival of Guyao at this moment, it is not an exaggeration to say that he brought the Dingai Shenzhen to Void City. Some forces are ready to withdraw in the face of the current situation of Void City. It is not that they are timid, but they want to share with Void City. Not all monks can make up their minds to survive or die. If they can, they also hope to arrange a safe place for the younger generation instead of staying in the turbulent Void City. However, now that Guyao came, they hesitated again, and this hesitation stayed again. This is an excellent opportunity to deal with Guyao. If I miss this opportunity, I don't know when to wait in the future. The status will be higher and higher, more and more difficult to accept. Close. Moreover, with Guyao and Qi Changjai, a sword cultivator with amazing combat power, and if other emperor-level masters join in, Void City may not necessarily reach that step, so it is better to stay in Void City and wait and see for a while. Guyao himself didn't know that he could play such a big role. He and Qi Changjai went to Xian Wuotang with Elder Qin and lived directly in the highest level guest house of Xian Wuotang. There is a quiet environment that is not disturbed by outsiders. This level of treatment has never been seen in Void City before. Even the master did not enjoy it, so let the apprentice enjoy it first. When he moved in, Guyao thought that alchemist Xie Yuan, who was invited by Xian Wuotang before, lived next door to them. He had also come to visit with his master, but when the master successfully made a breakthrough, the treatment would be improved. As soon as the two settled down, the other elders of Xian Wuotang, as well as the elders of Moutang Yaoutang, came to visit Gu Alchemist and Qi Xiandi with gifts one after another, as well as various forces in the city, also looking for a way. I want to show my face in front of Guyao. Elder Qin arranged for the cultivator to handle these trivial matters. He couldn't ask an emperor-level elixir master and an immortal emperor sword cultivator to handle it personally, but the cultivator couldn't make up his own mind for Guyao, and Guyao and Qi Changjai had to come in person. Guyao thought that he had to arrange for his own people to come over, so Chuanyin asked Elder Qin that Su Chuan, who left with them back then, is now in Void City. If he is, he can arrange for Su Chuan to come over. Elder Qin immediately sent someone to investigate. This investigation, Su Chuan was really in Void City, and he has made a lot of credit so far, so while Elder Qin replied to Guyao, he arranged for someone to invite Su Chuan to come over. When the news of Guyao and Qi Changjai's return spread, Su Chuan, who was in Void City, also learned about it. He was very excited, thinking about when Guyao and the others would go to meet again when they were free. Surrounded by gangsters. Walking on the street, you can also hear the surrounding monks talking about Guyao and Qi Changjai. Such a scene is not unfamiliar. The advent of fusion pill and nuclear explosion created a sensation, but this time, the tone of them is even more intense. Envy and respect. After all, walking to the emperor level is really stepping on the top of the pyramid, absolutely surpassing all living beings. Su Chuan participated in the battle of defending the city before. The battle was very hard. Afterwards, he retired due to serious injuries. Unlike other cultivators, he was not short of medicinal pills, because Dan Master Mei would meet him for the sake of his disciples. He takes care of one or two. Even if Alchemist Mei is now in retreat, the alchemists in the alchemy hall know this relationship. If he buys medicinal pills, he can always buy them. Of course, he is also envied by many people. The city is also considered to be in contact with all kinds of people. Hearing others' envy and admiration for Guyao and Qi Changjai, Su Chuan was also in a very good mood. When he first heard that they had succeeded in breaking through the calamity, he was also very surprised. For example, a card in the bottleneck stage may be stuck for thousands of years or even longer, but they are like a natural thing, but they did not expect it to be so fast, and it is very beneficial to go out to experience the training, and crises are often accompanied by opportunities. Students, how can you encounter the secret realm of the Dragon and Phoenix clans without going out? These things have long been spread in the Void City. He glanced to the side inadvertently, and saw a few cultivators with evasive eyes, but they refused to look at him. These were the guys who did not deal with him. When he returned to Void City after dealing with his personal affairs, I have been ridiculed by these people a lot. Maybe it was because I got too many benefits from being with Guyao and the others before, which made these guys very jealous. Seeing him come back alone, I thought he was dumped by Guyao and Qi Changjai. Ridiculed. A friend who was familiar with Su Chuan came over to pat him on the shoulder, glanced in that direction, and said with a smile, "Brother Su, it's those guys again. I know they are very jealous of you. Now Master Gu, after becoming Immortal Emperor and coming back, not only are they even more jealous, they are probably regretting their hearts to the point of bleeding, not to mention them, even I envy you. Do you want to go back to the ancient alchemist and the others?" Su Chuan smiled, "Brother Tang, they are actually pretty good. Now that Void City is so dangerous, they have been sticking to it and haven't left. There are quite a few monks who left some time ago. I still respect them for this. As for the ancient alchemist, of course I have thought about it, but now Gu Alchemist and Qi Immortal Emperor are definitely not short of manpower." Cultivator Tang admired Su Chuan's heart, and after thinking about it, he felt that what he said made sense. Compared with those monks who couldn't wait to leave this place, they were not bad. "That's not what I said. It's better to use the raw than to use the familiar. If we had such an opportunity, we couldn't wait to get over it. Brother Su, hold your breath, and when you return to Master Ancient Alchemist, remember to take care of your brothers one or two. Other than that, I can expect to buy some medicinal pills from you. You don't know." Before, when Pei Xianjun and the others were rescued by Ancient Alchemist and Qi Immortal Emperor, they shot the best healing pills, but unfortunately they all took them on the way back. Otherwise they would come back to the city and a lot of monks would want to smash them down with immortal stones. Haha, then I will ask Brother Tang to make auspicious words. Fellow Daoist Su Chuan, someone from Xian Wuotang asked you to come over, saying that the ancient alchemist is looking for you. A monk who also knew Su Chuan flew over to inform him of the news. When this shout came out, he immediately let Su Chuan being the center of attention. Cultivator Tang even slapped him a few times. He was so envious, so envious. "Thank you, I'll go right now." Su Chuan was also delighted. He thought that Guyao and Qi Changjai would not be able to find time to see him these few days, but he didn't expect that they would come looking for him first. "Come on, don't let Alchemist Gu and Immortal Emperor Qi wait." Seeing him with a silly smile, Tang Xiu hurriedly urged. He was more concerned than his own business. "Haha, let's go now, Brother Tang, we will meet again someday. Let's go." Fellow Daoist Su, good luck, remember to take care of our brothers in the future. Senior Su, we congratulate Senior Su. Senior Su, do you still lack a maid by your side? Would it be nice for the slave family to make a bed and a quilt for you? There was also a female nun glaring at Su Chuan, causing Su Chuan to sweat and flee quickly, almost causing a traffic jam. It can also be seen how much energy Gu Yao and Qi Changjai have now, and he is so pursued just by relying on this relationship. Hold. Su Chuan saw the people sent by Wu Tang at his residence. In the past, Su Chuan was polite to them, but this time, before Su Chuan greeted them, they greeted them with warm smiles, even in their voices. With a bit of a pleasing touch. Su Chuan floated up without this. He knew that all this was brought by Gu Yao and Qi Changjai. On his own, he couldn't enjoy such treatment, and besides, he couldn't shame Gu Yao and Qi Changjai. The two sides were polite, and Su Chuan followed them to Wuotang, and they were sent to the guest house where Gu Yao was. At this time, Elder Qin was coming out of the guest house. His face was full of spring breeze, which made Su Chuan suspect that he was drinking some elixir. Similar. Elder Qin saw Su Chuan smile unchanged. It's deist Su Chuan. Master Gu and Immortal Qi value you very much. You have to take good care of them. If you need anything, come to me at any time. Okay, Elder Qin. I remember. Su Chuan turned to enter after seeing Elder Qin off. Of course, Elder Qin was very happy, and even wanted to express his excitement at the moment. Gu Yao called him over by sound transmission, and after inquiring about the situation of Wuotang and Void City, he took out a batch of medicinal pills and handed it over to Wuotang. Seeing those pills clearly, Elder Qin was so shocked that his heart almost jumped out of his throat. Those elixirs are either Xian level high-level elixir or Emperor level elixir, all of which help cultivators grow and break through their cultivation. Of course, Elder Qin understands the purpose of Gu Yao sending these elixir. Only by improving the strength of the cultivators in the city can they be better protected. Void beast invasion, this is an imminent need. Knowing it is one thing, but taking out so many medicinal pills at once, it is particularly valuable before he can speak. Therefore, Wuotang must use these elixir in the most suitable place, and cannot waste Gu Yao's intentions. As soon as Elder Qin returned to the martial arts hall, he immediately ordered, "Quick, convene all the elders of the 3 major martial arts halls for a meeting." It was entrusted by the ancient alchemist. As soon as the last sentence came out, the elders who got the news rushed over immediately. No matter how important things had to be put down, so many staff members of Xian Wuotang saw that the senior management of the 3 major martial arts halls was the first time in history. Efficient speed, almost as soon as the news is sent out, people come over with a bang. Elder Qin, what did Gu Alchemist entrust? Do you want immortal herbs? We have a lot of immortal herbs waiting. Old Qin, if you have something to say, don't make us wait, you should hurry up. Elder Qin couldn't help laughing and laughing. What happened at other times, which time he didn't urge 3 or 4, these people all have procrastination, but this time, they are all in a hurry. Okay, let's go to the meeting room and talk. What's it like to be so foolish outside? Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 744. Entering the conference hall, before other people spoke first, Elder Qin spread out his hands and placed a row of pill bottles in front of him, and instantly swept over a dozen spiritual senses, and then made a gasp. Old Qin, you brought this from the ancient alchemist. Elder Qin, how should these elixir be distributed? We must be a part of our martial arts hall. We were thinking about asking the ancient alchemist to refine a pot of emperor pill, but we did not expect that the ancient alchemist thought of it one step ahead of us, the ancient alchemist Gao Yi. The elders scrambled to speak, and the atmosphere in the council hall was extremely warm. Their eyes were also very hot when they looked at the medicine pill bottle. Although they were talking to Elder Qin, their eyes were always attached to the bottle. Of course, I dare to think about such a thought, and I feel regretful that I can't put it into practice, but I must not let out my own part. Who dares to beat him to death? The elder Qin waved his hand and suppressed his voice. You listen to me first. The high righteousness of the ancient alchemist does not need us to speak, although we have obtained these medicinal pills, but the ancient alchemist deserves absolutely not less. That's what it should be, but does it need you, Lao Qin? This is on the one hand, and on the other hand, I also hope that these elixir will be used practically, and our 3 major martial arts halls will jointly cultivate a group of good players. So my decision is this: the 3 major martial arts halls will decide to train the list of monks to hand in up. You must meet 2 conditions, one is on the verge of breakthrough, and the other is to make a significant contribution on the battlefield, and then based on this list, you will be selected for admission. Don't worry, this is the first batch. Since the ancient alchemist is here, as long as there are materials, these medicinal herbs will not be lacking in the future. I know that everyone has selfishness, but now Void City is at a critical juncture, and we need to work together. Although the elders present were a little unwilling, they could not refute such a decision. Elder Qin himself had no selfishness, so it would be even more difficult for them to mention it. Otherwise, it would not be easy for Gu Alchemist to explain. For a moment, those elders disappeared in the council room with a bang. What are you waiting for? It's important to prepare the list quickly. The top management of the 3 major martial arts halls are operating quickly and efficiently, and resources are not needed to spend money. What they have to do is to produce a batch of monarch level or even emperor level masters in batches. As soon as the news came out, the entire Void City became a sensation, and the monks rushed to tell each other excitedly. This was undoubtedly an excellent opportunity for them, especially those who made great contributions and were on the verge of breaking through. In the non-war period, maybe it will take decades and hundreds of years to get results, but now there is a chance to get the key training of the 3 major martial arts halls. Maybe it will take several years or 10 years to soar. You must know that Wutang is aimed at all the monks who join Wutang to fight on the Void Beast battlefield. It is difficult to cheat. In terms of contribution, you only need to look at Wutang's points rankings to see at a glance. It's not that there is no force who wants to determine a quota internally through various relationships, because everyone knows that most of these medicinal pills are provided by Guyao, and it has been revealed that high-grade pills account for a large proportion, and there are even top-grade pills. Dan, in these extraordinary times, all kinds of breakthrough pills outside are rare, and the price is now rising. If you miss this opportunity, you will miss a soaring. However, the top level of the martial arts hall did not waver. The elders of the 3 major martial arts halls personally came forward to preside over this work, so that they had nowhere to play no matter how many ways they had. They could only watch the martial arts halls finalize the quotas. Weeping with joy, there are many loose cultivators among them, and it is extremely difficult to obtain these resources. Not to mention Void City, after the news spread, the major forces outside were alarmed. Many forces were not active in entering the Void Beast battlefield. Once this condition was opened, the monks in their forces could hardly share any benefits. With regret, he beat his chest and stomped his feet, and if he had known that he would also let his disciples go to the battlefield to fight, maybe he would get a chance. Immortal Emperor Wen Zhongying in Xianhuan Palace, and Immortal Emperor Huo Peng in Huangji Hall were extremely happy. Guyao arrived at Void City, and depending on the situation, he will live here for a long time. Their medicinal pills are also available. As for Xianhuan, the palace and Huangji Hall were originally the important pillars behind the Immortal Martial Hall. Of the monks selected this time, there were 2 peaks of immortal monarchs that belonged to them, which made other monks envy and jealous for a while. Su Chuan is also very concerned about the situation outside. He is very happy every time he hears the praise of Guyao from outside. In his opinion, all praise is not too much. Even if there are only 1 or 2 emperor-level masters in Void City, these are all Guyao's great contributions to the Void City and the immortal demon realm. It was also driven by such a situation that more and more monks joined the battle against the Void Beast, and the situation in Void City began to be controlled and changed in a direction that was favorable to the monks. Su Chuan has not many things to do. At first, people often came to visit Guyao and Qi Changjai. Su Chuan was the one who pretended to be a blackface. The cold eyes of others, but later the three major martial arts halls joined forces to cultivate. After the decision to raise the cultivator came out, the number of visitors here in Guyao was visibly less, and they all went to the martial arts hall to work hard. Originally, many people envied Su Chuan, thinking that he had a bad luck. If he could be by Guyao and Qi Changjai's side, Guyao would still lose to the people around him. Needless to say, Su Chuan would not take up the share of Wu Tang's medicinal pills. Later, all the forces would envy him. He could not wait to shove people around Guyao and Qi Changjai. Even a monk named Xian Junpeak would be happy to run errands for them in the past. What's the matter? Shameful. It's a pity that no one has won Su Chuan's job, and there are still forces who want to send beauties to Guyao and Qi Changjai. Elder Qin was busy with the affairs of Wu Tang, so he couldn't separate himself from the trivial matters. When he heard that the Luo family, a major force in the city, brought a lot of beauties to the Xian Wu Tang guest house, he was so frightened that he hurriedly lost his hand. Things went without a hitch. Who in the Luo family came up with this method? This is going to be a bad thing, so don't implicate our martial arts hall if you seek death yourself. Elder Qin left this sentence before disappearing. Some cultivators knew that the deep relationship between Guyao and Qi Changjai would not allow anyone to interfere, but some cultivators were used to seeing this phenomenon, or they themselves were indispensable. The beauties waited and felt that these beauties would not destroy the relationship between the husband and the wife. That's you, but don't think that everyone else is the same as you. But I heard a few words from Elder Qin, and Elder Qin also heard from Pill Master Mei. The two of them were basically the same when they first stepped into the cultivation world. Being together, we have been through ups and downs for many years, and the feeling is not only deep and can be described, it is the kind that blends into each other's flesh and soul regardless of each other. As soon as Elder Qin arrived, he saw half-dead people all over the place. The only two standing were the sullen Qi Changjai and the displeased Su Chuan. Needless to say, those people were beaten by Qi Changjai, including those who such a charming beauty. Elder Qin couldn't help twitching the corners of his mouth when he thought of Qi Changjai's savage hands to destroy flowers. Go away, Qi Changjai said with a thunderous sound, if there is another time, kill me. Elder Qin flung his sleeves at the leader of the Luo family and said, let's go quickly, don't make some crooked ideas, and cultivate and train your children properly. It's better than anything else. Many clan powers have a really bad atmosphere in private. If Guyao is good at this, it will be fine. If the Luo family does not need to do it, Wu Tang will rush to it, and is willing to serve the female cultivator of the emperor-level elixir master like Guyao. Yes, but Guyao and Qi Changjai can't tolerate others' interference. This kind of method is annoying. A bunch of smart-ass who really think everyone else is stupid. The Luo family was so beaten that they couldn't move, so Su Chuan worked hard and threw all these people out and left them at the entrance of Xian Wu Tang. As a result, the Luo family let the monks in Void City see a lot of jokes, etc. When the Luo family got the news and came to pick them up, how many cultivators gathered outside the Xian Wu Hall and pointed at the Luo family. Ha! The Luo family's setup won't work for ancient alchemist and immortal Emperor Qi at all. How could such a noble and righteous cultivator be moved by this kind of unreliable means? It's just self-inflicted humiliation. Yes, it is rare to have a fair chance for us loose cultivators now. These family forces are invisible, and the loose cultivators who died on the battlefield are much more than the children of their family forces. Because the ancient alchemist and the Qi immortal emperor are also from loose cultivators, when they first came to Void City, they didn't see these family forces rushing to please. The Luo family walked in a dreadful way. This time it was really a shame. The other forces were very fortunate. Fortunately, there was a Luo family who took the shot first, otherwise they would be the one who would be embarrassed. Guyao didn't know such a thing until he came out of the pill room. Hearing Su Chuan describe it to him, Guyao couldn't help laughing and crying. After Su Chuan finished speaking, he hurried away, because Qi Changjai's face was still not good looking. Needless to say, he needed to be appeased by the ancient alchemist. He should also be able to successfully advance to the immortal monarch. Really angry, Guyao leaned in front of Qi Changjai and smiled. Qi Changjai sighed, "I'm not particularly angry, otherwise no one will come out alive, but I have to teach them a lesson, otherwise I don't know what other ghosts and snakes will come over." This is also the reason why many of the ancestors of the Luo family and the children of the clan have made meritorious deeds on the battlefield, and even sacrificed on the battlefield, otherwise he would not be so polite. Guyao said that he might be really angry, and he was about to say something else when Mei Sun retreated with a surprising aura. Guyao and Qi Changjai looked at each other, and immediately put the Luo family's affairs behind them and rushed to the master's place. This is to break through the tribulation. Elder Qin and others were also alarmed, and they rushed over to arrange for Mei Sun to transcend the calamity. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 745. Wuotang has a special place for monks to transcend tribulation. Compared with Guyao and Qi Changjai, it is much safer to transcend tribulation outside, and the resources consumed by transcendence will also be reduced a lot. Mei Sun has been working in Dantang. He has done a lot for Wuotang, and protecting him from the calamity is a matter of course. Mei Sun only came to take a look at his apprentice, and left with Elder Qin and others. Immortal energy surged all over his body, and the robbery clouds in the air had begun to condense. If he didn't leave, it would be too late. Knowing that her apprentice was back, Mei Sun felt more at ease in this calamity. Immortal Emperor Yuhang wanted to guard Shangjukan, but he had practiced the technique of avatar and sent his avatar to rush over, and the main body still stayed in Shangjukan. In addition to being guarded by the prohibition of the formation, Elder Qin and others also personally protect Mei Sun. Besides, he is Master Guyao, but also because once Mei Sun succeeds in transcending the calamity, another Emperor-level elixir master will be added, which is undoubtedly very exciting. Heartwarming message. Many monarch-level monks came to watch after getting the news, which was beneficial to their cultivation. The thunder was rumbling, and the monks in the entire Void City could hear it. They couldn't help but look in the direction of transcending the calamity. They were very much looking forward to Mei Sun's success in transcending the calamity. The value of an Emperor-level elixir master is too great. Provided a lot of medicinal pills, the three major martial arts are likely to produce high-level masters in batches. Originally, Mei Sun was a little worried about crossing the robbery, but Guyao sent him a lot of dragon scale pills and other pills that would help improve the strength of the physical body. On the physical body, otherwise, I will leave the customs earlier, but these time and effort are very worthwhile. After more than half a month, the sky is bright, and when the heaven and earth are raining, even the breath of the Void City is full of. For a new one. Pill Master Mei succeeded in transcending the calamity. This is the addition of another Emperor-level elixir master to our Void City. That's great. It's really amazing. Now Mei Dan, Master and Apprentice, can be described as three immortal emperors, and they are also a great force when looking at the whole world of immortals and demons. Master Mei Dan also has a disciple who has long been an immortal monarch. If he also breaks through to the promotion, both the master and the apprentice will be immortal emperors. This will become a legend in the fairy world. Yes, that one's Taoist companion is also very good. Sure enough, things are thought to gather, people are divided into groups, and the strong only walk with the strong. Mei Sun, who successfully crossed the calamity, was in a very good mood. He expected it well. If he hadn't spent the last time on tempering his body, his tribulation would be very dangerous. Dragon scale pill and other good things to improve the strength of the physical body are not anyone. If he wants to have it, especially if the apprentice gave him the top quality dragon scale pill, the effect of refining it is naturally more than doubled. Congratulations to Pill Master Mei for being promoted to Immortal Emperor. Congratulations to Immortal Emperor Mei. Everyone came forward to congratulate Mei Sun. Guyao and Qi Changjai received a lot of congratulations. Since Guyao moved into the Xian Wuitang guest house, these people have never had the chance to see him. Now is the time, hurry up and hurry up. Take a face. Guyao was also in a very good mood. He responded one by one, and then escorted the master back to retreat with Elder Qin and others to consolidate his cultivation. With the help of Guyao's emperor-level elixir, this retreat did not take too long. Elder Qin and others left after sending the people, leaving the teachers and apprentices to talk. Mei Sun only had time to care about his apprentice's situation at this time. Hearing Yu Heng talk about his apprentice's actions, Mei Sun was very proud, and Yu Rongjian also felt that his apprentice's actions were very clever and won most of the cultivators to stand on his side. It is not easy for the forces to attack. What else to say? Yu Heng received the voice transmission of the main body, and there was an emergency in Shangjukan, and the clone also needed to rush back to help. I'll go too. Qi Changjai got up and said. Seeing that Guyao did not object, Yu Heng took Qi Changjai with him. He had just entered the early stage of the Immortal Emperor, and the tempering on the battlefield was good for a swordsman like him. In more than half a year, Mei Sun consolidated his cultivation. With him taking the lead, the operation of the pill hall became more efficient, and a large number of pills were sent out. Originally, Mei Sun was promoted to Immortal Emperor, and Guyao and Qi Changjai were promoted and returned one after another. Xian Wuitang should hold a grand ceremony for them. However, in extraordinary times, they had to keep things simple. Besides, they didn't value the superficial ceremony and didn't hold it. The grand ceremony, their status will not be weakened by half. Soon after, Su Chuan was promoted to Immortal Monarch. At the same time, the three major martial arts halls also trained more than a dozen monarch-level masters. This number will continue to rise with time. Of course, some new monarch-level masters appeared and put themselves on the battlefield, and several monarch-level masters were damaged due to the fierce battle on the battlefield. Good players, but the addition of the new force has given them hope. Who does not envy the monks who are at the same time as Su Chuan? If it weren't for the appearance of Guyao, his breakthrough and promotion would not have been so smooth. Perhaps there would be some twists and turns, but now he is a big step ahead of the monks in the same period. And there was good news at this time. Demon Emperor Luoyang from the Demon Realm and Demon Emperor Huixu from the Demon Realm brought a group of monks to Void City to help out. Just by hearing their names, everyone knew that they were targeting the ancients. From far away, their promotions have a lot to do with Guyao, that is, the Phoenix clan and the Dragon clan. Although they did not have the support of monks, they also supported a large number of cultivation materials in Void City. In addition to these aids, some unfamiliar faces have appeared in Void City recently, including Emperor-level masters. When Zhang Ying's medicinal pill was finished, and after Guyao sent a letter to Xian Wuitang, Wen Zhongying couldn't wait to come in person. He was extremely satisfied with the medicinal herb, knowing that Guyao's medicinal herb was very good at this time. Hard to find, he must first meet the needs of the three major martial arts halls and battlefields. With the help of these elixir, he can reduce the accumulation of thousands of years or even longer. If it wasn't for his luck that time, how could it be his turn to line up? So when he came to get the medicine pill, Wen Zhongying added another generous gift. Guye Zheng and Wen Zhongying were talking, and there was inevitably some experience in the cultivation of the Immortal Emperor period. Su Chuan walked in from the outside and bowed respectfully to the two of them. Master Gu, there is a Qianjing immortal emperor outside who wants to see him. Elder Qin said that this is a middle-stage immortal emperor who came from a loose cultivator. Immortal Emperor Qianjing? He actually appeared. Wen Zhongying was extremely surprised, seeing that Gu Yao was not familiar with this person. He explained, "This is an old-fashioned immortal emperor, I haven't heard his voice for a long time. This time before he appeared, some people might believe that he had fallen, but he did not expect that he would also pay attention to the news outside." Immortal Emperor Qianjing, with a strange technique, is very good at creating illusions. Qianjing, which represents all kinds of changes, often makes people die unknowingly without knowing it. Although this person has a strange personality, he is not a very evil person, and his grievances are clear. It was indeed the first time that Gu Yao heard about this immortal emperor, and after hearing Wen Zhongying's comment, he said to Su Chuan, "Then invite immortal Emperor Qianjing to come in." It didn't take long for Su Chuan to bring in the visitor. The visitor was very thin, his appearance was very ordinary, and his immortal energy was not revealed at all. In Su Chuan's view, this person seemed to be no different from ordinary mortals. Elder Qin reminded him that he did not dare to be careless. At first, Gu Yao also felt that this person had an ordinary face, and it was very easy for people to ignore the past. Maybe the next moment he would not remember what he looked like. However, when he looked closely, he could see a little bright hall. Looking at it, the eyes of the two collided, and they both showed a little surprise. When Immortal Emperor Qianjing became famous, Wen Zhongying was still an insignificant junior in the fairy world. When he was promoted to Immortal Emperor, Immortal Qianjing had already retired for many years, so Wen Zhongying was the first time he saw Immortal Emperor Qianjing, but he didn't want to hear it. His secret, to be able to appear in front of people at this moment and ask to see Gu Yao, there must be some special circumstances. "Master Gu, Immortal Emperor Qianjing, if you talk about it, I will say goodbye first." "Okay, Su Chuan, help me deliver Immortal Emperor Wen." "Emperor Wen, please." Only Gu Yao and Immortal Emperor Qianjing were left in the room. The latter opened his mouth first, his voice slightly hoarse, as expected by this old master. "Gu alchemist has very strong soul power. I think this time, this old man has found the right person." Gu Yao also said, "The spirit power of Immortal Emperor Qianjing is also not weak. After listening to Immortal Emperor Wen's introduction before, I felt that Immortal Emperor Qianjing must have a strong soul in order to have the name Qianjing. But, is there something wrong with Immortal Emperor Qianjing's soul? In the eyes of others, Immortal Emperor Qianjing is so common that he forgets it." However, when Gu Yao watched intently, he could only see layers of mist, and even he couldn't see through Immortal Emperor Qianjing's true face. However, I also noticed that there are some violations and stagnation in it, which should have been more complete. Haha. Immortal Emperor Qianjing's voice became even more hoarse. The old man heard the name of the ancient alchemist, and learned that the ancient alchemist had become an emperor-level alchemist before he was promoted, and he could refine the top-grade emperor pill. The old man thought take this trip in person and meet with the ancient alchemist for a while. "Immortal Emperor Qianjing, please take a seat." "Many thanks to the ancient alchemist." Immortal Emperor Qianjing's voice was filled with a bit of respect. The news he inquired about was that this ancient alchemist and his Taoist companions were influential figures that only appeared in the past 1,000 years. Once they became famous, they were like flying dragons soaring into the sky. Unstoppable, he was dubious, but those rumors were enough to make him go. Now it seems that most of his hopes will fall on this ancient alchemist. The ancient alchemist has great soul power. When he first entered the Immortal Emperor, it was no less than the middle stage of the Immortal Emperor. The ancient alchemist judged it right. The old man did have a problem with his soul, so he had to dormant for tens of thousands of years. During these tens of thousands of years, I go incognito in all directions to find a powerful elixir of soul. Teacher, I hope to refine a pot of medicinal pills for the old man, but it has been unsuccessful. Gu Yao was extremely surprised. What kind of medicine can make the whole world of immortals, demons, and demons make no one to refine it? 9 Chu Qing Soul Pill. Gu Yao frowned slightly, and the information of Jiku King Hun Pill appeared in his mind. It was an emperor-level middle-level elixir, but the difficulty of refining it was comparable to that of an emperor-level high-level elixir, because he was a soul-related elixir. The effect is to expel the soul poison that acts on the soul. The means of soul poison can be described as extremely vicious, but immortal Emperor Qianjing has been poisoned by soul poison for tens of thousands of years. He can still maintain his current state, and his soul is already very strong. Could it be that high-level elixir masters at the imperial level can't be refined? Immortal Emperor Qianjing laughed hoarsely. It can be seen that the ancient alchemist knows the efficacy of this pill, but the old man has been poisoned deeply, and the ordinary Jikuxing soul pill cannot completely clear the poison, and the top quality Jikuxing soul pill is needed. No one can do it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 746. The Best Jiku King Hun Dan. Gu Yao couldn't help but show a shocked expression. You really look down on me, Gu Yao. With my cultivation base in the early stage of Immortal Emperor, I can't guarantee that I will produce the best pill. If it is high grade, I might be able to give it a try. I think it is difficult to get a few pairs of the materials for the medicinal pills. Immortal Emperor Qianjing is really relieved to give it to me and not afraid of wasting it. As for the low-level elixir, Gu Yao has a little more certainty, but if you really go up, the more difficult it will be to refine. According to several emperor-level elixir masters he knows, the refined emperor's elixir can produce middle-grade elixir. The appearance is not bad, because even if 10 pairs of materials are used, only one furnace can be successfully refined, and even if only one emperor pill is produced from this furnace, it means that you have stepped into the ranks of emperor-level elixir masters. Therefore, the gap between the emperor-level alchemists and the emperor-level alchemists is also huge. Therefore, when the news that Gu Yao can refine the high-grade emperor pills spreads, the emperor-level bigwigs of the fairy and demon world will pay more and more attention to him, otherwise he is not worthy of those big bosses, especially the big bosses in the middle of the emperor level. Immortal Emperor Qianjing smiled. I can afford to gamble, but Gu Alchemist is still worried that the old man believes in the wrong person? This is the material for 5 sets of Jiku King Hun Dan, and there is a payment to Gu Alchemist in the storage ring. Plus I, Qianjing, have personally guarded the ancient alchemist for 100 years. The temptation was so great that Gu Yao couldn't help but jump in, especially the last condition, which was more attractive to him. He made a bid for the other materials, and there were always monks trying to get it for him, but a century-old guardian of the middle stage of the immortal emperor, but it is not easy to obtain. The unknown enemy who was always behind him made him and Qi Changjai unable to let go of their hearts. Although Qianjing might not be able to beat him, with him, especially his strange cultivation ability, he could at least delay the escape for a while. Gu Yao pondered for a long time. With his current ability, he is unable to refine the top quality Jiku King Hun Dan, but it does not mean that he cannot improve. How about I give the medicinal pill to Immortal Emperor Qianjing within 100 years? Immortal Emperor Qianjing was overjoyed. It only took 100 years. He could wait for tens of thousands of years. For him, 100 years was nothing but a nap, so he held his palms and laughed. In this case, I will ask the ancient alchemist. Gu Yao called Su Chuan in and asked him to arrange a place for Immortal Emperor Qianjing to live. If Immortal Qianjing had any needs, he would try his best to satisfy him. Su Chuan was shocked when he learned that Immortal Emperor Qianjing was going to live here for hundreds of years, and he was even more in awe of Gu Yao in his heart. This is Gu Yao's real appeal and influence. Chi Changjai came back from the battlefield when he learned about this situation. After knowing the transaction between Guyao and Immortal Emperor Qianjing, he specially met and talked with Immortal Qianjing before turning back. Xiaoao, are you sure? If you are sure, everything is easy to say. Not everyone can get the century-old guard in the middle stage of the Immortal Emperor. With this person by Guyao's side, he is more at ease, but with Guyao for so many years, he has also received some knowledge about medicine pills. The edification of Jigqinghunden is not easy to refine. If it is not successful, Immortal Emperor Qianjing will probably turn his face immediately, and no one can predict what he will do. As soon as Guyao thought about it, the room they were in was enveloped by his strong soul power. If anyone wanted to listen, they would first alert his soul power. Even Immortal Emperor Qianjing couldn't avoid it. Chang Ye, do you still remember what happened in the spirit world Lingzhou? Chi Changjai's eyes suddenly lit up. Xiaoao, do you mean that they have the trick to refining the best pills? Guyao nodded. Yes, I just thought of this method. Although it is a shortcut, it has merits when necessary. Although this method is suitable for refining spirit pills, it was created by the master. After I study it together with master, it may not be impossible to improve it. Anyway, Immortal Emperor Qianjing doesn't need too much, only one pill can solve the problem. Okay, do it, I believe you. Guyao smiled. The fact that Immortal Emperor Qianjing lived in Guyao's guest house was soon known by the three major martial arts halls. Both Mo Wutang and Yao Wutang asked Xian Wutang for news. The meaning is revealed to the outside world. Guyao is alchemy for Qianjing Immortal Emperor. Qianjing Immortal Emperor promised to protect Guyao for 100 years, it is as simple as that. As soon as these words came out, many people dropped their chins. Is this simple? Although Immortal Emperor Qianjing hasn't shown up for a long time, it doesn't mean they don't know Immortal Qianjing's former reputation. Even emperor-level masters of the same rank can't be good in his hands, both in character and ability are very strange. Even others say that no one has ever seen Immortal Emperor Qianjing's true face, and even if he did, he would have already died in his hands. But now such a master of the Immortal Emperor actually still asks Guyao, and promised to protect him for 100 years, even if it is just a short 100 years, it is enough to make these big men envious. The three major martial arts halls are still like this. After the news spread from the three major martial arts halls, more monks from all parties in Void City dropped their jaws. It caused a lot of fluctuations, and it also explained one thing. It is not impossible for Guyao's medicinal pills to be obtained, but the price of asking for it is too high. Thinking that Immortal Emperor Qianjing has paid such a big price, what about them? If the condition of Immortal Emperor Qianjing is not met, it is difficult for Guyao to let go. There were a lot of people who laughed bitterly. When Immortal Emperor Qianjing appeared, he raised the condition of asking Guyao for pills too high. This is not only the treasures of heaven and earth that can impress him. Even Immortal Emperor Wen Jiangying and Immortal Emperor Huo Peng have become the objects of envy and jealousy of everyone. It was a coincidence that when they rushed, Guyao's reward for their alchemy was very low. Now many emperor-level bosses can't wait to pay a few at the price of twice. Immortal Emperor Huo Peng passed this opportunity to them, but would Immortal Emperor Huo Peng agree? Huo Peng was very fortunate when he learned that Immortal Emperor Qianjing stayed by Guyao's side. As for the envy and jealousy of others, it would only make him even more proud. This is luck. Guyao didn't care about those things. He went to the master to discuss it, which inevitably had to talk about the lower realm. Mei Sun was amazed. It turned out that his inheritance in the lower realm was in this direction. In fact, after meeting with his two apprentices, he did not care about the development of the lower realm. He had done enough for the spiritual realm, and it was impossible to protect him when they went to the end. He might have expected a split, but he didn't expect that they would carry forward one of the tricks, which went beyond what he left at the beginning and became the secret technique of victory in their hands. Why did he come up with such a trick in the first place? He also discovered that the souls of the disciples in the sect are special, like Guyao, too rare. Refining the top grade pills is not easy, and he who collects the world's pills is also in other alchemy masters. After thinking about it for a while, I figured it out. After I figured it out, I handed it over to the disciples in the section. Now that I think about it, it is inevitable that it will be a treasure. It is inevitable that it will decline after its heyday, but his apprentice will support Ling Zhou again and return to another heyday. Maybe after thousands of years, Ling Zhou will collapse again. It doesn't seem to be such a pity now. Maybe at that time, there will be another amazing person who will lead Ling Zhou in another direction. This trick does work for refining Jikuxing soul pill, but when are you going to refine it, Xiaoyao? Guyao thought for a while and said, I promise to complete it within 100 years, even if it is delayed until the last moment, so there is no need to worry. Although it is a transaction, Immortal Emperor Qianjing is not his own person, and how he behaves is also hearsay. Mei Sun nodded in relief. Xiaoyao, if you know, you can take your time. Since then, Guyao has been discussing alchemy techniques with his master from time to time. It just so happened that Mei Sun also needed to improve his alchemy techniques. Speaking of which, he was ashamed to say that he is now far behind his apprentice, and he still needs to ask his apprentice for a lot of things. However, in Mei Sun's view, there is nothing to be ashamed of. The cultivation world always pays attention to the best first. Now, in the field of alchemy, Guyao can be called his master. Isn't the relationship between Su Chen and Guyao changed like this? When Guyao first met Su Chen, the latter was an unattainable figure in Guyao's eyes, even if there was only a soul left, but later on, he kept approaching Su Chen, and finally left Su Chen behind. In his spare time, Guyao will also chat with Immortal Emperor Qianjing. After all, he is a veteran Immortal Emperor. I don't know how many years he has lived. The time spent in Immortal Emperor alone is more than tens of thousands of years, because he was poisoned by the soul. At that time, it was the middle stage of Immortal Emperor cultivation. These years were dragged down by soul poison. Not only did the cultivation level not progress, but it also declined. This is still the middle stage of Immortal Emperor. Immortal Emperor Qianjing has a quirky temper in the mouths of others, but the hope of detoxifying Guyao, a late Immortal Emperor, is in him. Experience has told him that this has benefited Guyao a lot in a short period of time. Although his cultivation has not improved, his combat power has definitely increased a lot on the battlefield. The comprehension of the ancient alchemist is really excellent. It is no wonder that he can get to the point where he is today in a short period of time. It may not take long before the old man will be surpassed by the ancient alchemist. Guyao said modestly, when it comes to experience, I am far inferior to Immortal Emperor Qianjing. He did not ask for it blindly, but refined an elixir for Immortal Emperor Qianjing, which could relieve his pain. Soul poison adhered to the soul, and it would always make the poisoner suffer endlessly. Immortal Emperor Qianjing didn't say it didn't mean he didn't know. You can imagine how strong his endurance is. In other words, Immortal Emperor Qianjing had a relationship with him, and the medicinal pill he provided was the evolutionary and upgraded version of the fusion pill that he had researched before. Advanced fusion pill? Fusion pill 2.0? Haha, the ancient alchemist is really lazy when it comes to naming it. This is to let the outside world know that the ancient alchemist treats the evolutionary and upgraded version of the fusion pill like this. I don't know how painful it will be. The naming rights have been snatched away. Of course, Immortal Emperor Qianjing knew the name of fusion pill, and he also took fusion pill himself. Although it couldn't detoxify, it brought a sense of relief to the soul. That's why he made up his mind to come to Guyao. He can't do it. Immortal Emperor Qianjing took the high-grade fusion pill on the spot, and then meditated on the spot to digest the medicinal power. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 747. The high-grade fusion pill refined by Guyao is not of high grade. It can be regarded as a top-level elixir of Xian level. Of course, the effect of taking it in the middle stage of the Immortal Emperor will not be very high, but this kind of elixir has one characteristic, that is, it is aimed at Qianjing. In the case of Immortal Emperor, it can be taken multiple times. After a while, Immortal Emperor Qianjing opened his eyes, and a relaxed smile flashed in his eyes. Since he was poisoned with soul poison, he has never felt more relaxed. Of course, this does not mean that the pain of soul poison torture has been completely relieved. The pain of the goddess of the gods was relieved by a single grain of Fushandan. Even if it was only this point, it was a great relief for Immortal Emperor Qianjing. The effect is good, the ancient alchemy master's alchemy is really good, the old man is here to thank the ancient alchemist. Where, there are 10 immortal pills here. Immortal Emperor Qianjing takes 1 pill every month. After taking it, I will make another pot for Immortal Emperor Guyao said politely. Thank you. Immortal Emperor Qianjing accepted the medicinal pill and thanked him again. There are only a handful of people in the immortal demon realm who can get such an attitude from him. Maybe both parties are taking a test, but this time, the medicinal pill that Guyao took out made Immortal Emperor Qianjing feel a lot more comfortable, and he was willing to reveal more to Guyao. Isn't Gu alchemist curious, how did this old man have such powerful soul power to get this soul poison? Guyao nodded honestly, yes, it should be said that Immortal Emperor Qianjing's defenses should not be weak, and this kind of poison should be difficult to get on. He thought about it in his heart and suspected that it was a monk who was familiar with Immortal Emperor Qianjing. Immortal Emperor Qianjing's voice became more and more hoarse, like a poisonous snake that made one's heart tremble. The ancient alchemists said it well, when this old man was at the peak of his strength, even in the late stage of Immortal Emperor, I would be exposed to this poison, but who would have thought that, Qianjing traverses the fairy and demon world, slaughtering countless enemies, and there is a poisonous snake lurking around me. Guyao's brows twitched when he heard it, and it was indeed the person beside him, perhaps the cultivator that Immortal Emperor Qianjing regarded as a trusted friend. He thinks that he is not my opponent, and he wants to attack me. He has only one way of conspiracy, but he was also hit by the old man. Even if he has cultivated better than the old man these years, the old man's attack also left him. Hidden danger, the more he goes up, the more he will endure, and no one will be able to live comfortably after scheming against the old man. It can make Immortal Emperor difficult. The power of that blow is absolutely amazing. Anyway, Guyao thinks that he can't do it, unless he uses that sinister trick. Immortal Emperor Qianjing tilted his head and smiled, maybe someday the ancient alchemist will meet this person. His reputation has always been very good in the world of immortals and demons, and he even cheated his death many years ago. This is an old trick he often uses. Now, even if he escapes, he will still leave a good name. I want the old man to say that this person is extremely hypocritical, but unfortunately the old man knows it too late, otherwise he will not be able to be recruited. Guyao's heart skipped a beat. Thinking of a person, he couldn't help but say, could it be Immortal Emperor Fu Fan who died in the Star Beast riot many years ago? Immortal Emperor Qianjing smiled strangely, sure enough, the ancient alchemist also knows his name. Does this person in the fairy world praise him as a role model for my generation? Gao Fengliangja? How many people know his true face? By the way, he also hooked up with the arrogant daughter of the Feng clan. The Phoenix girl gave him an egg. He might think that the old man's life would not last long, but he really thought that all this could be hidden from the eyes and ears of the old man. It's really him. Where is he now? Guyao was extremely shocked. He didn't expect that it was Fu Fan who was hooking up with Feng Lingfei. Shen Wei was his son and Feng Lingfei's son, which made him get goosebumps all over. The only thing is that Immortal Emperor Qianjing sees all this in the eyes, but he just doesn't mention it, and being an enemy of such a person really leaves him speechless. Anyway, he is unwilling, and he will die in the city. Don't know how to die. It's not him, the Phoenix clan is pretentious, but the Phoenix girl is also willing to degenerate. The senior members of the Phoenix clan are also a group of fools. They are played around by Fu Fan. After the clan was exterminated, God still left them a way to survive, and it is also related to the ancient alchemist, and the stolen eggs returned to the Feng clan. Immortal Emperor Qingjing's voice was a bit harsh. Feng Yahua. Could it be that you didn't steal that egg for that reason? Gu Yao asked in surprise. Yes, that old boy wants to use the treasures of the Phoenix family to heal his wounds. Although the Phoenix family is stupid, some things are excellent, and that flesh and blood is an excellent tonic, and people can't even think about it. That Phoenix girl is stupid. Extremely, he gave up on the man who took advantage of him, and almost caused the Phoenix clan to annihilate. Although the Dragon clan was also a little stupid, but no Dragon girl was deceived, so much better than the Phoenix clan in this regard. Of course, that is also because the Dragon girl dislikes Renqiu as being too weak to satisfy them. Gu Yao sprayed, and it was also because of this reason, so in fact, Immortal Emperor Qingjing's evaluation of the Dragon clan was not very good, right? Qianjing Xianqi laughed strangely again. This time the Dragon clan may want to send the Dragon girl to the ancient alchemist, but the ancient alchemist must not be fooled. Those Dragon girls must wear a cuckold to the ancient alchemist behind the scenes. Gu Yao's black line is incomparable. What nonsense is Immortal Emperor Qianjing talking about? The Dragon clan knows that I have a Taoist companion, and they also know how to annoy me. That's right. Anyone who knows the ancient alchemist now, who doesn't know that the ancient alchemist and the Qi Immortal Emperor are very fond of each other? It is not easy to destroy your relationship. Annoying the ancient alchemist will not be worth the gain. Qianjing Immortal Emperor Gugu laughs, remembering the day when he first came. Qi Changjai couldn't wait to rush back from the battlefield, and tested him again and again, and was very worried. However, he has to admit that looking at the younger generation of the entire fairy and demon world, there are not many who can surpass Qi Changjai. They are either too old or not talented enough, or the two guys from the Dragon and Phoenix families who have just been promoted to the Emperor level. In his opinion, it is also a lot worse than Qi Changjai. Qi Changjai was only promoted not long ago, but he was able to detect a very strong threat from this junior. How can it be unusual for the owner to be chosen by slaughtering Immortal Sword? Which master of the slaughtering Immortal Sword has never been in the world of immortals and demons? Gu Yao rolled his eyes and had nothing to say. Immortal Emperor Qianjing was usually very polite to him, so he felt that the rumors that Immortal Qianjing had a strange temper were too exaggerated. Maybe it was because he was tortured by soul poison. But now I relax and realize that the rumors are not necessarily fake. You have to ask the old man where that guy is now. The old man is really hard to say, but if he makes a move, the old man can guess that it is him. Next time he makes a move, the old man will notify the ancient alchemist. Gu Yao frowned. Is this person the same as Immortal Emperor Qianjing, who is also good in soul power? He told the story of Immortal Lord Liu Yun last time. Immortal Emperor Qingjing's laughter subsided. Yes, at that time, the old man did not defend him, but let him learn a lot of things. He has been eyeing the ancient alchemist so early, it seems that the old man and the ancient alchemist are more destined. Gu alchemist can rest assured that if the old man is there, even if the old boy appears, he will not be able to do anything to the ancient alchemist. There are some things that the ancient alchemist didn't know before. If the ancient alchemist has entered the emperor rank, the secrets of the fairy and demon world should also be known. Did the ancient alchemist think that the peak of the immortal emperor is the strongest strength? Gu Yao asked, could it be that there are higher ones? Not bad, Immortal Emperor Qianjing affirmed, but now there is no one in the entire world of immortals, demons, and demons. Above the peak of the emperor level, that is the controller, that is the god, that is the Supreme Person, who is not immortal, not demon, not demon. Existence, is the Supreme Being who can open up new worlds. Can the ancient alchemist imagine it? That is the height that all monks who have reached the emperor level yearn for, and become the controller. What are those void beasts who have no brains? Guyao was extremely shocked. Just listening to these names, he knew the meaning of such a supreme existence. Can the controller, the Supreme One, be able to control the existence of the entire fairy, demon, and demon world at will? Then the controller is eternal? What about the previous controller? If it was still there, this void beast battlefield would not exist, would it? Immortal Emperor Qianjing shook his head. It disappeared long ago. I don't know if it left this world, or the controller will also fall and die, but the controller left a temple. It is said that the secret to becoming the controller is in the temple, and now the very many innate spiritual treasures in the demon world are also handed down from the temple, such as the slaughtering immortal sword. The ancient alchemist's alchemy has an extraordinary origin, and it may have something to do with the temple. Guyao's heart skipped a beat. Just relying on immortal Emperor Qianjing's supposedly sentence might make many monks, especially emperor-level monks, crazy. At this point, who wouldn't want to become that supreme being? Just saying this sentence may make the emperor-level bigwigs kill each other. I don't know if the chaos caused by the monks who were exiled to the gods' punishment space was related to this, and who exiled them. Could it be the supreme being? But it seems that there are no words on paper related to the existence of the supreme. However, the controller may not have fallen, but went to other worlds. As far as Guyao knows, there is not only an interstellar world outside this practice world, but he has experienced it himself. Many worlds like many worlds. When will the temple be opened? It will be less than 1,000 years from the next opening, maybe 100 years, maybe it will take nearly 1,000 years, no one can tell this, but before the opening, all emperor-level monks can sense it, and it is said that the temple prefers strong souls. The person when he said this, Immortal Emperor Qianjing looked at Guyao meaningfully. Guyao blinked. Could this be the reason why he was targeted? It is also the reason why Immortal Emperor Qianjing was designed to be murdered. Could it be that the latter has to find out and kill the powerful souls one by one before the temple opens? Everyone else is dead, and he is the only one left, so he is the only one left? Why do you feel a little naive? Even if the controller has fallen, is there no will of his own left in the temple? Guyao always felt that the amount of information he got this time was too large, so big that he couldn't even think about it. Is the black ball he got also related to the temple? Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 748. Guyao felt that the amount of information contained in what Immortal Emperor Qianjing said was extremely large, and even guessed that the Void Beast's powerful invasion of the immortal demon realm at the moment was also related to the temple. If the Void Beast is allowed to the opportunity, this fairy and demon world will become the home of the Void Beast in the future, so it may not be impossible for the Void Beast to join the competition. When Qi Changjai came back, Guyao told him these things. Qi Changjai also pondered for a long time, and said, "It's not impossible. Looking at the current situation, those powerhouses standing at the peak don't seem to be very anxious. Maybe they feel this. It doesn't matter what the time is, as long as you become the controller in the end." As Immortal Emperor Qianjing said, the crisis of the Void Beast will be insignificant, it can be resolved in an instant, and it can even be expelled from this space forever. By the way, this is a new map I got. The map indicates that it is the hardest hit area of the fairy world. I didn't think there was anything unusual at first. Now, based on the news of the temple, their goal may not be to deal with the fairy. The demon world is looking for the temple. Guyao sighed and said, "Actually, it's the latter who are using the Void Beast to find the temple. If the temple really has a preference for those with powerful souls, these Void Beasts will undoubtedly be excluded early, but they have an advantage, that is, they are innate. Spatial talent. This person is not afraid of bringing wolves into the room. Maybe there is no last chance in the temple, and no monk can grow into a real controller. Chi Changjai sneered, even if there is only a 1 in 10,000 chance, they will go all out. If you think about the layout for tens of thousands of years or even longer, it is impossible to allow yourself to turn back. Gu Yao knew that he was thinking too shallowly. What do you think? Chi Changjai smiled and said, of course we should fight for it. We have this opportunity, or the opportunity presented to us. Others have no chance to create it, so why should we give up? Gu Yao nodded. In fact, he also really wanted to see the true face of the temple, is it really left by the controller like the legend, and also wanted to see the power of the controller. Then we have to hurry up to cultivate, otherwise our initial cultivation is not enough to see. Present. Gu Yao also told Master and Immortal Emperor Yu Heng about this matter. The two of them had heard a little about the temple, but they didn't know as much as Gu Yao knew now, and they didn't expect to be involved in the immortal and demon world all these years. It was Immortal Emperor Fu Fan who was reigning. Although Immortal Emperor Yu Heng had never met him, he had heard of his reputation. Before he was promoted to Immortal Emperor, he also yearned for him very much. If Immortal Emperor Qianjing did not lie, Yu Heng with the Immortal Emperor was like swallowing a fly. Of course, they didn't have 100% confidence in what Immortal Emperor Qianjing said, but the things about the temple were definitely true. After clarifying these relationships, Gu Yao's attitude towards the war between the immortal demon world and the void beast has also changed a bit. Perhaps in the eyes of the peak powerhouses, whether it is the monks or the void beast, they are all righteous. The chess pieces on their chessboard, but those cultivators who fought on the battlefield knew nothing about it, and it was sad to think of these. The only way to get rid of such a fate is to become stronger. I have to say that Gu Yao was a little swollen before, but these cruel realities poured cold water on him and made him calm down a lot. He is now strong, but only moderate in the eyes of the lower level cultivators. The strong, those who stand at the peak, may not necessarily value him Gu Yao very much, but he is just a chess piece that can be discarded at any time. Although his attitude has changed, he has not slackened in alchemy. However, except for those who can impress him like Immortal Emperor Qianjing, he will not easily let go of other alchemy requests. Tang handling. It seems that the three major martial arts are really thinking about the future destiny of the monks and the fairy world in this starry sky, and Gu Yao is also willing to contribute. Immortal Emperor Qianjing knew that his words would have a big impact on Gu Yao. After all, Gu Yao was still too young in his eyes. He thought it would take a lot of time to digest it completely, but he didn't expect to see Gu Yao in. He has invested more time in cultivation, and he doesn't know where he chooses. Immortal Emperor Qianjing couldn't help laughing. It's a good thing for young people to have ambition. Maybe he and Chi Changjai will be one of the variables. It would be interesting if the old boy was defeated by Gu Yao and Chi Changjai. Anyway, he couldn't win it. You can't let that old boy get it. During this period of time, Gu Yao obtained a lot of emperor-level immortal grass, so he could completely supply the emperor-level elixir needed for cultivation, and they were all top-grade pills. Would they be jealous and risk offending them to come and rob? With the refining of the elixir, the cultivation of the two also continued to rise. When Chi Changjai slaughtered the emperor-level intermediate-level void beast on the battlefield, the void city began to appear one after another. Emperor-level catastrophe. This is announcing to the entire fairy and demon world that it is not impossible to produce emperor-level masters in batches, and it is now being staged in Void City. Boom! There was another thunder robbery, and the monks in Void City were interested in discussing at first, which monk crossed the robbery this time, and expressed their envy, but after the successive catastrophe appeared, they have become numb. Isn't it another calamity? What's so great? This time is it a monarch or an emperor? Is there any difference? I don't know that since the accident on the battlefield, 5 new Emperor-level masters have been added to the Void City boundary. This does not include Guyao and Qi Changjai, because they broke through outside. It was at this time that Lu Su and Su Chen returned to Void City, and they were accompanied by another demon cultivator, namely Zhou Hu. They had been on their way, so they didn't know much about the situation in Void City these days. Su Chen looked in the direction of Lei Ji in amazement. What a coincidence. Someone just came back to cross the robbery, or the Emperor-level robbery. This fellow Daoist doesn't know, the recent catastrophe is not too much. It is not surprising that the Emperor-level catastrophe, this is the phenomenon that we only saw in our Void City, and now a lot of monks outside are envious of us. What about Void City? Isn't this fellow Taoist also here for Martial Hall and Ancient Immortal Emperor? Su Chen's black line, the succession of Emperor-level heavenly tribulations is amazing, isn't it? It's actually quite remarkable. The more I see, the more I know how difficult it is to advance to the Emperor level. There have been more Emperor level masters recently. Su Chen would never admit that he was envious and jealous. What? Are there many monks coming from outside recently? They are all here to ask for pills? This is the first monk to become an Emperor level master. Haha, not much, not much. This is the 4th Emperor level catastrophe. The other dozens are all Emperor rank catastrophes. Compared to the Emperor rank catastrophe, the Emperor rank catastrophe is too few. If you come dozens of Emperor level masters, those void beasts have been beaten all over the place. Of course there are many people asking for pills, but not everyone can ask for pills. So far, the monks outside have only achieved one goal, and that is Immortal Emperor Qianjing, but they may not pay the price that Immortal Qianjing paid. Affordable, it must be the guard of the ancient alchemist for 100 years in the middle stage of the Immortal Emperor. All of them were in high spirits, as if Guyao and them belonged to the same country, and they were also proud of being part of the Void City, and they watched many jokes of foreign cultivators asking for pills. Su Chen rolled his eyes. He was Guyao's senior brother. Didn't he just use the pills that Guyao refined? Where is the need to pay for the protection of the middle stage of the Immortal Emperor? After getting far away, Zhou Hu, who had been silently following the two of them, tooted a few times. Xiaoao is really amazing now, much better than you. Su Chen, are you really Xiaoao's senior brother? This status is getting more and more. The price has dropped, so speaking, I can be regarded as your elder. Bah! Believe it or not, I'll beat you out of this Void City, Su Chen scolded. Zhou Hu shrugged, no longer irritating Su Chen, but is it useful to deny these facts against his will? Continue to listen to other people's gossip with interest. Sure enough, dozens of catastrophes before and after are related to Guyao. How can I ask this fairy, demon, and demon world, who has the courage to mass-produce king-level emperor-level masters? Only Guyao. Su Chen sneered, looking at Yin Hua's face. I will give you some face, or you, the younger generation, have to call me a senior. If we didn't see you as pitiful, you are still in the devil world. Zhou Hu blinked, not as familiar with Su Chen anymore. He was actually dipped in Guyao's light. When he didn't know it was Guyao who sent a message to these two, asking them to find out about him, if the situation outside was a little dangerous, I came to Void City early, and now Guyao's name in Void City, how many people in this fairy world don't know? Finding Guyao, is it still far from reuniting with Yin Hua? Guyao, who had just left the customs, was very happy when he learned that his brother was back, and hurried to the master's place. Su Chen remembered that the first thing he remembered when he came back was to see his master first. Now he is also in the middle stage of Xianjun, and Su is in the late stage of demon, obviously faster than Su Chen, but in the demon world, he must be right Su more beneficial. Although it can't be compared with Guyao and Qi Changjai, Mei Sun also knows that this kind of progress is definitely one of the fastest in the whole fairy world. Zhou Hu is also very respectful in front of Mei Sun. After all, this is Guyao's master, so he can't be ashamed of Guyao, not to mention Mei Sun is a senior Dangxian who is respected by many monks in the spiritual world. The spirit world has left a strong legacy and is an admirable senior. Senior brother and master are back, fellow Daoist Joe, how is this journey? Guyao greeted them after coming over. Mei Sun couldn't help laughing when he heard him call him that. He just heard Su Chen say Zhou identity. He was Xiao's uncle's Taoist companion, and he was also a talented demon cultivator in the lower realm. Okay, of course, thank you Xiao for asking your senior brother to find me. You haven't seen each other for so long, you don't have to stay with me. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 749. Zhou and Yin Hua ascended together, and now they also have a mid-level cultivation base, which is a very good result for a soaring loose cultivator. In the face of Guyao and Qi Changjai, the two immortal emperors, Zhou did not feel lost. When he was still Yuanying in the lower realm, he was caught up by these two, and then he watched them go higher and higher, and now they are immortals. God, isn't it normal in his opinion? Fellow Daoist Zhou, are you staying in Void City, and I'll reunite you with your uncle when things are over here or? Guyao asked. Zhou said without politeness, you give me a road map, I will go there myself, and I can't help you if I stay here, but you have to give me two things to protect me so that I don't bump into each other on the road. Dangerous. Okay, how about you rest for a few days before leaving? Okay, listen to your arrangement, Xiao Zhou said with joy, flying into different worlds, it is very difficult to meet again, such as Su and Su Chen, and it is not entirely on their own strength, he and Yin Hua, without the help of Guyao and Qi Changjai, I would not have known it would be the year of the monkey and the month of the horse. He asked himself that with the help of Guyao and Qi Changjai, it would not be difficult to reach the realm of Biaoxiu Immortal Palace with the help of Guyao and Qi Changjai. In the immortal realm, it is always a pleasure to meet old friends. It is inevitable to eat and drink. Immortal Emperor Qianjing also came to join in the fun. During the banquet, talking about other ascension monks, Su Chen and Liao Su met the sword demon master and apprentice during this trip to the demon world, especially the sword demon, who made a lot of fame in the demon world. With a sword, he has become a demon lord, and now he is in the demon realm killing the invading void beasts, and he agreed to meet again after the matter has subsided. Although they are famous like Guyao, there are also many monks who don't know where they are going. It is not easy to meet again in the vast immortal and demon world, but no matter where you go, you must hear the reputation of Guyao and Qi Changjai. The monks who ascended from the same spiritual world will be honored. A few people talked about their imaginations about the future. In the future, they will find a piece of land that belongs to them alone, build a city that belongs to them, and take charge of their own territory. Rest. Guyao also had this idea for a long time, but he just kept wandering around and couldn't get enough time. Now because of the temple, it is even more impossible to find a place to settle down. It is important to improve the cultivation base as soon as possible. Qi Changjai glanced at each other, and tacitly circulated. When the temple is over, they must find a good site. It is not an exaggeration for the two immortal emperors to monopolize a star field and live their immortal life. A few days later, Zhou set foot on the spaceship that left Void City. Guyao entrusted him to Fenjian business, which was much safer than walking alone. Even if there was an accident, he could leave at any time. In order to reunite with Yin Hua, Zhou, I have embarked on a long road again, and it is not easy to chase my wife all the way, but I am also enjoying it. Su Chen, who rested for a few days, also invested in alchemy. Xian Wuotang also greatly welcomed his return. Now that there are 3 masters and apprentices of Mei Sun, Void City has gathered a huge power, this huge power, making the situation in Void City and the battlefield continue to improve. However, the rupture of the enchantment made this war doomed to be a long war, but because of the elixir provided by Guyao, the battlefield was actually a training place, especially after the successive calamities landed, and came to Void City to join the Void Beast. There are more and more monks on the battlefield, and batches of young monks with outstanding combat power have emerged. In such a continuous battle, Guyao, who was in the Void City, was instilled by a large number of top-quality elixir, and his cultivation base steadily entered the middle stage of the Immortal Emperor. Qi Changjai made a breakthrough on the battlefield. The promotion shocked countless monks. How many years did he become an Immortal Emperor? It's not even 100 years, right? In just 100 years, it has risen a small rank? Simply not human. Guyao pressed him to the early stage of the Immortal Emperor after his cultivation was promoted, and he did not show it to the outside world. Unless the late Immortal Emperor and the peak monks appeared, the truth could be discovered. However, he couldn't hide Immortal Emperor Qinjing's perception, not to mention the change in Guyao's aura. Even the fluctuation of immortal energy when he broke through that day also made him aware of it for the first time. After the breakthrough, Guyao fulfilled his promise and refined the 9-sentence soul elixir for Immortal Emperor Qianjing. After trying many similar elixir, he successfully refined 2 top-quality elixir in the second batch, both of which were given to him. After the Qianjing Immortal Emperor, there are still 3 pairs of materials left on his body anyway, and he can still refine them. Immortal Emperor Qianjing was extremely excited, and after getting the medicine pill, he entered the training room to retreat and detoxify. A month later, there was laughter in the training room of Immortal Emperor Qianjing. Guyao and Qi Changjai walked out of the room together. The door of the training room had just opened, and a monk in blue came out. This time his face was also ordinary, but at a glance he called. People remembered that even though he was ordinary, he showed a sense of arrogance. It seems that he never admitted defeat, and now he has finally defeated soul poison. Congratulations to Immortal Emperor Qianjing. Guyao and Qi Changjai congratulated him, and now he is truly complete in Guyao's eyes, so he knows that the soul poison has been completely removed. Haha, Immortal Emperor Qianjing was very happy, and strode over, "Thank you, Master Gu, for alchemy for the old man. Now this is the true face of the old man. I didn't want to hide it before, but I was always under the control of soul poison. The face is also very twisted and ugly, and I don't want to get in the way of the ancient alchemist. Now, I have removed all the burdens, and thanks to these years of soul poison torture, it won't take long for my cultivation and soul power to grow because I have been competing with soul poison. His soul has become more and more tenacious, and the hardships he has suffered over the years are not in vain. I ask someone to prepare a banquet, and Immortal Emperor Qianjing, please take a seat." Okay, Immortal Emperor Qianjing did not refuse, and they have been very happy to get along with the two over the years, especially Guyao, who is very transparent. People. Guyao also called the 2 senior brothers to have dinner together, and asked during the banquet, "What's the plan of Immortal Emperor Qianjing in the future? There are only a few years left in the 100-year appointment, Immortal Emperor Qianjing needn't take it to heart. Immortal Emperor Qianjing has also fulfilled his promise. He has been guarding in this guest house for all these years. The immortal formation outside the guest house is also arranged by him. Without a special token, outsiders cannot step on the ground. The various pointers on Guyao's practice are also considered extra rewards, so Guyao doesn't mind the last few years. Qianjing Immortal Emperor is also refreshing. Over the years, he has understood Guyao's temperament. He knows that he is not polite to himself. Besides, outsiders do not understand, but he knows Guyao's true strength. With the help of that black nightmare beast, he is Qianjing. Fighting against Guyao may not be able to win, so his protection is meaningless. That's good. After half a year, the old man's cultivation will be consolidated and he will leave. It's time to repay his kindness and revenge. These old men have been paying attention to all kinds of news outside, and recently found some clues. Master Gu and Immortal Emperor Qi will also pay attention to one or two when they arrive. Which one is the most suspicious? Su Chen asked curiously. He had already learned about Immortal Emperor Qinjing's past, and was very curious about where this person was hiding. Immortal Emperor Qianjing said with a sneer, "Think about where the situation is the most serious in the past few years except for the Void Beast battlefield. What characters have appeared there?" Guyao and Qi Changjai glanced at each other. In addition to cultivating, they also kept an eye on the news outside, but they didn't know the enemy family as well as Immortal Emperor Qianjing. After he reminded them, they remembered a place. Could it be the Beiluo Star territory? 10 years ago, it was attacked by 7 Emperor-level void beasts. The Beiluo Immortal Emperor of the Beiluo Star territory unfortunately fell, and most of the local monks were killed and injured. Later, an Immortal Emperor Kong led the remaining monks to resist. Could it be this Immortal Emperor Kong that the void beast invaded? I heard that the Emperor-level void beast that appeared at the beginning had a strength that reached the late Emperor level, so it caused such a serious result. They first heard about this from Elder Qin. Immortal Emperor Beiluo only had time to ask for help from other nearby star fields, but before the other Immortal Emperor Masters arrived, he was besieged to death by those Emperor-level void beasts. In the past 100 years, not only Immortal Emperor Beiluo, an Emperor-level Master has fallen, new Emperor-level Masters have been born, and former Emperor-level Masters have died in battles with void beasts, although a large number of Emperor-level Masters have emerged. But the number of fallen Emperor-level Masters is also astonishing. Of course, for junior cultivators, this turbulent period also has a great promotion effect. In the past, it took thousands of years or even 10,000 years to accumulate, and it was possible for the cultivation base to rise by a small order. Characters all have a common characteristic, that is, the cultivation base rises very fast, the environment is difficult, but it is also the most capable of refining people. Immortal Emperor Qianjing didn't say it was fine, but when he reminded him, he felt that Immortal Emperor Kong surnamed, and Immortal Emperor Fu Fan had a very similar style of behavior. Because he turned the tide at a critical moment, he won great praise in the Beiluo Star region, replacing Immortal Emperor Beiluo as the worship object of the local monks. Immortal Emperor Qianjing sneered, "Yes, the old man also suspects that he is there, and the old man also suspects one thing, that the Beiluo star field is on the edge of the demon world and the chaotic star field, and it is also very close to the devil world, so there is likely to be a temple there. Where it appeared. Liao Su understands, so, those void beasts were actually led by this person, and then appeared in the image of turning the tide. Immortal Emperor Beiluo actually died in his plan, and replaced Immortal Beiluo to guard there. Once the temple appeared, this person can seize the opportunity, and even have greater ambitions. If all this is true, there are likely to be many Emperor-level void beasts hidden there. Transmigration, First Class Immortal Husband. Author, North Wind Blows. Chapter 750. Whether the matter of Beiluo Star territory is what Lixu said is still unknown. On the second day after chatting with Guyao and the others, Qianjing Immortal Emperor's breath disappeared in the guest house. People know that even Elder Qin has not notified, and no one knows what Immortal Emperor Qianjing has been here for 100 years, and what kind of elixir he is asking for. In their opinion, Immortal Qianjing must fulfill his promise, and he will not be in less than 100 years. Left. On this day, Qi Changjai came back from the battlefield and brought back something to Guyao. What I discovered together with Luo Yang and the others is a copy of an old cave of a void beast. This thing grows in their old cave. No wonder it was difficult for monks to find its traces in the past. Guyao was very pleasantly surprised, because the things in the box were exactly what they had heard of in the Void Beast battlefield in the early years, but they had never encountered such luck, and this time the box actually contained 13 void grass with almost transparent colors. Is not a surprise. Aren't they all here? Yes, swallowing the void grass raw, the energy is too tyrannical, and the utilization efficiency is not high, but if it is refined into void pill, it will be different. They have confidence in you, Xiaoao Chi said with a smile. Luo Yang and Hu Su had privately discussed what kind of elixir the immortal Emperor Qianjing asked Gu Yao to refine, and guessed what level Gu Yao's elixir technique had reached. The skill level should have entered the middle level of the Emperor, so these void grass can play the biggest role in Gu Yao's hands. They remember that immortal Emperor Huo Peng came to Void City, and he must have come to get the elixir. This elixir was probably taken by immortal Emperor Huo Peng himself. I heard that his cultivation base has also risen rapidly recently. Gu Yao happily said, then I'm welcome. By the way, how did you think of copying the Void Beast's nest? That's right, those Emperor-level Void Beasts ran out, and the power to stay in the nest is weaker, right? It is indeed a good opportunity to copy their old nest, and there must be a lot of good things in the old nest. Chi Changjai smiled, there are still some good things. Although he took all the void grass, the other things were less, but there were still some, so he then took out 2 pieces of red ores that turned purple and black. I took this for the rest, which is good for improving Lotus Heart Fire. This time we are testing for the first time. If it is successful, we will continue to copy it. Now it turns out that our idea is very feasible, so next, such an action not less. Gu Yao took these 2 ore rudely, the Lotus Heart Fire in his body would rebel if he smelled the smell. This is an extremely precious empty flint crystal, which is only born in the void. After the fire absorbs the energy to improve himself, Gu Yao's strength will also increase. After receiving the ore, Gu Yao was also eager to move. The next time you take action, tell me, and I will also participate. Okay, Chi Changjai replied with a smile. Since these void beasts dared to enter their immortal demon realm, don't blame them for being rude and copying their old caves. Such opportunities are rare. The reason why they dared to do so was because they were sent by immortal Emperor Qianjing. Back news. At this time, it has been nearly 2 years since immortal Emperor Qianjing left Void City. Although immortal Emperor Qianjing wanted to avenge himself immediately, he also knew that the other party's actual cultivation base was higher than him, so he acted very carefully. After immortal Emperor Qianjing left Void City, he went to Beiloto Star territory to find out the details. Although he was extremely secretive, immortal Emperor Qianjing, who knew the details of his enemies, still found clues. Now we can be sure that Beiloto Star territory is over there. There were indeed at least a dozen Emperor-level void beasts lurking, and he even sensed the peak of the Emperor level. Coupled with the Emperor-level void beasts raging in other places, it can be inferred that there is not much power left in the old nest, and their opportunity to counterattack has come. Seeing that even the old nest has been emptied by them, these void beasts isn't it possible to stay in the Beiloto Star territory. However, the time for the next copy of the old nest has not yet been set. This time, it is more peripheral. The void beasts outside must be cleaned up before they can be pushed in, and a lot of Emperor-level power must be gathered to do this. This is also the appeal of Gu Yao today, especially the Emperor-level masters who have appeared in Void City in the past 100 years. They are even more convinced of him. Chi Changjai is his Taoist companion, and his combat power is amazing, so he can be on the battlefield. Gather these Emperor-level masters on the top, otherwise others may not be willing to take risks with him. Once a void beast at the peak of the Emperor level appears, they may have nowhere to go. In the days of waiting for the action time, Gu Yao delved into the void pill, only the void grass as big as a palm, but the energy contained in it is amazing. The most important thing is the space energy, which is of great help for the monks to understand the laws of space. There are other tyrannical energies floating in the void, so refining this pill requires extremely high control over the alchemist. If one is not good, the alchemist can't control the backlash, and the damage to the soul power is light and serious. The cultivation base fell. Mei Sun and Su Chen were also very interested in void grass and void pill, and stayed in the pill room with Gu Yao to discuss. Of course, it is in the Danfang pill book, otherwise Gu Yao would not dare to use the void grass to open a knife easily. This thing is not so easy to study. Now it has been confirmed that the void grass grows in the old nest of the void beast, and there are even pill recipes for the void pill in the pill book. Does this prove even more that the pill pavilion comes from the temple? Step-by-step deductions, step-by-step demonstrations, there should be no mistakes in any link, otherwise it will be trivial if the refining fails. After staying in the pill room for several months, Gu Yao received news from the battlefield that the second bottom hunting operation was about to begin, and he quickly put an end to the research on the void pill. Seeing this, Mei Sun smiled and said, "Don't worry, but be careful and safe, don't be careless." "Understood, master. You and senior brother continue, I will go back when I go," Gu Yao said and flashed out of the living room. Su Chen is envious, but unfortunately his cultivation is also a hindrance. However, after coming here, he has been practicing on the battlefield, and he has also made a fierce name. Knowing that he was the Red Flame Sword Demon Queen of the Year, everyone the monk didn't think it was any different. Mei Sun finds it interesting. He is not a belligerent himself, of course. It does not mean that his combat effectiveness is weak, but he likes to spend more time on alchemy. In this battle, it goes without saying that Yu Heng will definitely also participated. Next to the teleportation formation of Xian Wuotang, the two monks in charge of guarding looked sluggish. One person whispered in disbelief, "The one who just teleported away was the ancient alchemist, right?" Another person rubbed his face, "It seems to be the ancient alchemist. I have seen it when the ancient alchemist was on the battlefield, and it is no different from that year, but, does it really matter when the ancient alchemist is on the battlefield? I think we should hurry up and tell Elder Qin. If something happens to the ancient alchemist, we can't bear it. Today is different from the past. The importance of the ancient alchemist to the Void City is more important than that of any immortal emperor, so no one expects the ancient alchemist to go to the battlefield. If you know that he wants to go, it is estimated that he will come out to persuade one by one, otherwise it will be a heavyweight bodyguard will be sent to protect him personally, and Void City can't afford to lose it." The two looked at each other and hurriedly sent the news back. Alchemist Gu was so bold, how could he think of going to the battlefield at this time? Not to mention the danger of the Void Beast. What if there is an enemy hidden among the monks and take the opportunity to attack the ancient alchemist? Elder Qin stood up abruptly, "Master Gu is on the battlefield? Why didn't the teleportation array stop him?" "What? Alchemist Gu went to the battlefield? What's the joke? Go and see what's going on." The other elders were also nervous. Everyone immediately split up and went to the battlefield to find Gu Yao himself, and then went to the guest house to ask Don Chi Mei. If it was just to find his Taoist companion, it would be fine. Gu Yao didn't want to hide his identity and enter the battlefield. After all, it will be exposed sooner or later. Besides, he can move freely here, who can restrain him where he wants to go? Otherwise, wouldn't he be equivalent to being imprisoned? It's one thing to do what you want to do, but it's another thing to do what you are forced to do. After meeting with Qi Changjai, Luo Yang and the others almost dropped their jaws when they saw him appear. "Master Gu really wants to go with us," Gu Yao said with a half smile but not a smile. "What? Underestimate my strength? Why don't we compare it first?" Luo Yang laughed first. "Forget it, Brother Qi can rest assured that you will join us. What else do we have to worry about? Let's go early and return early." Luo Yang and Qi Changjai are the masters, and the other monks can't object, thinking in their hearts, at most, protect the ancient alchemist a little more, and he can't let the ancient alchemist be in danger, because the ancient alchemist is too important. It is better to sacrifice them. Don't let the ancient alchemist go wrong. Luo Yang shouted, and everyone immediately left Tianjiyuan. 7 or 8 emperor-level masters led the mighty in front, and the momentum was not too big. Seeing them leave the city, the other monks were envious. I heard that they made a lot of money a few months ago and found a lot of good things, which are worth what we have gained in a few years or even longer. This time it must be the same. When we come back, it is estimated that we will make more money. Unfortunately, our cultivation base is a little short, otherwise we would be able to compete with the past. That is, although our cultivation base is considered good in the eyes of others, in order to join their team, the strength must be at least the monarch level, and the combat power must be strong, and the weak cultivation base is a hindrance in their opinion. Don't say it, I'd better cut a few more void beasts to earn more points, so that I can go to the martial arts hall to exchange the medicinal pills refined by the ancient alchemist. No one is willing to sell it at a sky-high price. Whoever can't think of it will sell it. It's time to take it when you get it. If you miss this opportunity, it will be gone. The longer the ancient alchemist stays in our void city, the better. Everyone was talking about it. When Elder Qin and the others arrived, Gu Yao and his party had already left the city and disappeared.